Hello everyone! Welcome to the first of many videos on the Artsy MK channel, which basically features casual gaming for the casual viewer. I'm MK. This is my first video on YouTube, I think ever. So we're going to just take it by ear and give you a nice pleasant tour of my island, which is called Everkeep. Everkeep has really no significant name. I did an island name generator and found which ones I thought would be timeless and would match a lot of different themes that I had ideas for in the future. But I've only been playing for 2 months, so my island is in the newer developing stages, although it's very clear that despite playing for only 2 months, I've put a lot of time into this game. I have a 5-star island. In another video, I'm going to talk about how I literally went from a 2-star to a 5-star island overnight in order to get KK Slider to visit, but that's a whole other video. And I have 10 really awesome villagers. I've had 2 who have left, so they're not my original 10, only 8 of them are. We have Leonardo, Hornsby, Vesta, Graham, Marina, Renee is my newest addition, Tabby, Frank, Shep, and Naomi. So as you can see, I have my villagers all across the island. I am near 3 of them, and I have what is a basic layout. I have resident services next to the shops. My campsite is sort of near other people, but sort of far away, and my museum takes up a good portion of the island. So with that in mind, let's give this a go. We're going to do a major loop around the entire island. I'm a little self-conscious showing off my house because it is not viewer ready, guys. But I think the joy of Animal Crossing and New Horizons in general is the works in progress are also just equally beautiful. So let's start with resident services. I have been a big believer in expanding resident services so it doesn't look like it's, an eyesore. And the way that I did that was by moving lots of flowers around and having, my native tree featured in the very beginning and having this walkway that balanced the weight of the off-centeredness of my airport to my resident services. And with that, I have an outdoor library, which, because I've only been playing for 2 months, I don't have a lot of furniture available to me, so this is what I have so far, and I am really proud of it. And to the left, we have, a bike rental that I think would be really cool, especially if you're doing kind of like a nature hike scene for your island, and just a nice little sitting area with flowers and a fountain. Nook's Cranny is right here. And here's another thing that I really like is what do you do with all of that land behind resident services and make it look like you did something on purpose. And for that, I created this really nice bamboo garden. And I thought, oh cool, so both of the shops can have a nice place to sit and have their break. And there's also a bridge that leads to the museum right over here, kind of hidden away. And again, as I said, I'm still kind of working on how to personalize my characters' yards and their houses to fit their personalities, to fit their color schemes. And so far, I think it's a good start. I really do look forward to getting more DIYs to bring out their personalities, but I don't think you need all of the new DIYs in order to make your island look exceptional. Because you can already tell which villagers are being featured. So obviously a jock villager. This is Leonardo's house. Again, I'm still working on Tabby's, but having music nearby is really great for the peppy pop villager. And lazy villagers with food and relaxation, low-key, just comfortable feel. And I know many people have a makerspace that is specific to one part of the island, and in order to remove space, I should say, from the house inventory, I have a lot of my like at least 30 of each building material on a shelf. And that's also to keep from lowering your score for your island. I do have a main flower garden, but I like having specific flowers that I'm trying to grow. So here I'm working on getting green mums. I've so far made 2 green mums and I'm very proud of them, but here's hoping that we get more as the Christmas season comes in the next couple of days, if not few weeks. And here is the more developed residential area that I am incredibly proud of. We have Frank and Graham and Marina and Naomi. And back here I have a bit of a barrier because I think the backdrop looks a lot more closed in and it feels more homey in my opinion. And here we have the entire museum area. I'm still working on a lot of stuff, as I've said, but so far I think the beginning points are doing really well for my island. Everything seems very pleasant, a good place to visit. And this is the museum, gift shop, and cafe. Once I start getting more sculptures, I think that it'll really come out as a talking point. But we're gonna go down here, and I'm going to show you the entrance that I feel is really amazing and a present in view. So far, I have 3 fossils, and you go up here. And here you have a garden of black and gold roses because I love black and gold as a color scheme. And when you go up here with the museum, you have a nice little flower garden viewing area, and they will be filled with more art and sculptures and artifacts as Red visits and hopefully as some of my villagers gift me fake art. And while I'm a big believer in making sure that you can get just about anywhere to your island within the span of a couple of seconds, I do like having breakpoints where you can jump across and get to places, but for the most part your villagers have to take the scenic route. And here is my orchard, including some money trees. And here is my house. I am planning on doing a huge renovation of my entire island to begin a long-term project of a theme I have, which will be, I think, a really great live stream experience. But this is something that I really like. I believe that lighthouses need to be on the highest tier that you have because lighthouses are used to guide ships at night, right? So having them in a corner and high up is really helpful for, I think, that realistic feel of what a lighthouse portrays. Well, what the heck? Let's go view my house. I'm still trying to figure out how I would like my house to look, but I think the bare bones is really starting off nicely. I don't have the basement yet, but I just paid off my upstairs loan. And I'm going for kind of a cottage feel that has some luxuries, but is for the most part an enjoyable, quiet place. And my bedroom is going to be moved in one of these 3, and another room is going to be replaced to go down to the basement. So let's go to the left. We have a bathroom that I've repurposed the small pool as like a heated bathtub because I wasn't really a fan of the bathtub that I'd been given. But I think that the blues and the pinks and the browns really come together very nicely. And I really like the iron lamps. I have a few of them throughout the entire house. And here we have my very simple, very basic kitchen. I still need a refrigerator. I've been using this closet as kind of like a refrigerator replacement, but it does seem to work pretty okay. And I love the unfinished clay plate set, especially with the green. I think that really suits the overall scheme of the reds and the browns that I have here. And this room is going to remain constant in its idea. I'm wanting to create kind of an outdoor greenhouse space. And I was very excited to realize that the log stakes can be put inside. So I'm going to create a fence all across the floor by the wall and, you know, remove the that the tool board so that it looks more like we're actually outside. And finally, we have the upstairs. I was really inspired to turn this into a living room area that, you know, does invite company up and around to just have a large space to enjoy each other's company. And I found this by visiting dream addresses. The most recent update allows you to be surprised and just visit random islands that have given permission for strangers to visit. And this was something that I just absolutely loved, and I think it's a really great idea. I'm kind of the opinion that a bedroom is meant for sleeping, so having a small bedroom isn't a big deal for me. And once I have a basement, I think I'm going to turn it into something different and unique that I haven't seen on other islands, but you know, we'll see. As I said before, there's a lot of my island that I'm still trying to be more cohesive with, but uh-oh. Shep, I'm on a tour. Shep, buddy, I'm on a tour. Yeah! Oh my gosh, this is perfect. Yes, a total shout out to Everkeep. um, I think we're going to keep it because I'm on a tour and I don't have time to think of something creative on the fly. I appreciate it, thank you. That's another thing, folks. Always cite your sources. Always give credit where credit is due. But here's the last of the residential areas that I have, and I'm going to keep this even with the theme that I have in mind. I really do like the idea that each villager, including myself, has a neighbor and has that they're not their own island, right? I'm very much on community building and creating a really nice community for my villagers as well as myself to be a part of. And finally, we have my flower garden just before we head over to the campsite for the last part of our tour. And I was really struggling with making my garden feel like it was something that the villagers had created, because without trees or wild flowers or even a place to sit, it is just a flower breeding program. So if this is something that really resonates with you, just take it from me. This, I feel, makes the area so much more community focused. Now, a lot of my beaches are closed for the winter. I'm going to wait until spring when I'm going through my renovations, because I think I'm going to have to move all of my villagers specifically to certain beaches as I work on parts of the island at a time. But back here is kind of Celeste's meteor shower area. I really do love how low-key this is, but also just like, could you imagine going with your friends to a rocky beach area and just looking at the stars? I totally could. But this beach in particular, I think I want to make more of a shopping market district. I've seen a lot of great examples on Instagram and Twitter, as well as dream addresses, where they really make their beaches pop. And I think that since I have a market feel already here, this is the perfect location for it. Especially since my pier is right here. And finally, we have my campsite. This is the first part of my island that I completed and haven't really done anything else with since then. It's very basic. It's very much a low-key glamping style, and I'm probably going to do a little bit more with it as I become more confident in my creative capabilities, especially when my theme is really getting to the point of being finished. But so far, I think it's a very good design. You know, having privacy for a bath and to do your business. Firewood, a picnic, and a cooking fire. And then you're just a walk away from the resident service area. So again, I hope that this video and this sort of video will be something that you enjoy watching either in the background or just to get ideas. I am always on the lookout for ways to improve my island, and I really hope that you had a fun experience as much as I did. So thank you guys so much, and I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day, afternoon, evening, or wherever you are. Goodbye!